Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits. Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. I'm Luka Dolovich. With me, as always, is Tommy Ball and Jared Waters. And today, you might look on the screen and you're like, man, I remember this guy. We've had him on before. Our guy, Jay Nagle, is back. And just to jog your guys' memory, Jay is a KI Hoops family staple. Jared was coached by his father back in junior college. And since then, obviously Jared has integrated him with the rest of the family. The training regime, I should say. And
Nice
if you want a quick refresher on his story and how he got to where he is today, where he's essentially going to pick up his story, episode 15 of the Walk On Pod on both Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can go ahead and go check that out. That's at the Walk On Pod, episode 15, Jay Nagle. But without further ado, Jay, thank you again. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Like I said, the floor is going to be yours, man. So
I'd also like
you.
to chime in. Any music listeners, we have good music conversation on that episode as well. Not just basketball there.
That is
Not
true.
just basketball there. Sorry to cut you off, Jay. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Definitely go tap in episode 15. Go tap into all of it, honestly. Good listens all around. Great guests. But yeah, so last time I was on, I was at Idaho State. I don't know how far into the season, if we were into the season at all. But
Let's see. That would have been pretty early. That would have been pretty early in the season.
Probably the fall, right?
Yeah, because we started
That'd have been
15. We started in the summer.
4 months in, so we started in July.
Yeah. So we're looking at like November-ish. Probably would have just started.
Yeah. So obviously finished out at Idaho State. Finished that season. Ups and downs individually and team-wise, but definitely got out of it what I feel like I needed individually, and met great people on the way. Really enjoyed my time there. And then went into the summer, knew I wanted to keep playing. So got an agent, started figuring out the overseas process. It took a while, ups and downs with that as well, for sure. Just kind of treading new territory and trying to figure that out along the way. So reaching out to people I knew or people who had gone through the process. And mine was rocky, I guess you could say. It took me a while to find where I was heading, but I ended up in Georgia, which is Eastern Europe, over by Turkey and Russia. Got over there, didn't know what to expect, but worked out well in my favor. Good teammates, good coaches, a good opportunity, and I think I made the most of it while I was over there. I performed well, put up some good numbers, and put myself in a good position going into this off season with the new agent and then just new opportunities coming. So right now, just getting back in the lab, looking forward to this summer, getting better, and with these guys and everyone else out there. So that's a quick synopsis update.
Humble synopsis.
I mean, come on, Jay. Come on.
Man,
you can brag a little bit, Jay. I mean, Jay.
Have you ever met Jay? Does he ever do that?
No, but I mean, if I'm Jay,
I'm
saying, I won the 3-point contest. I was averaging, I don't know. What were you averaging, Jay? You were getting buckets out there, man.
Yeah, I think it was 18-ish, 8-ish, and 4 around there.
Numbers.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I felt it was a good situation. Yeah, okay, buddy. You know what I'm saying, man?
You're talking like you were a role guy, Jay.
No. Definitely not that. It was, I got put in a good position and coach trusted me, and I just kind of was able to rock with a lot of freedom from day one. So definitely beneficial. And I think I obviously, like we were saying, performed up to the standards and just tried to make the most of it while I was out there.
Jay, what was the biggest adjustment? This is going to be basketball nerd stuff, but what was the biggest adjustment from just from a position standpoint? Like, obviously people that have been in the gym with you know how well you shoot it and stuff like that, and the role that you played in college at each of your stops. What was the biggest adjustment just from a positional and like role situation? Like, what did you have to do differently mentally or physically?
Yeah, well, one, I was on the ball a lot more, which I hadn't been since really like AAU high school days. So I was just kind of an adjustment getting back to that. But like everyone says, the physicality is obviously different. The refs aren't as you don't get away with as much or get as much as a American over in Europe. So physicality was definitely something to adjust to. And then the way they play the game in Europe is obviously a little different. There's systematic and scheme stuff that's just kind of like if A happens, everyone knows that B happens. And that's not exactly how we always play here in college and obviously the league. So just different reads off pick and roll, post up, spacing, positioning. There's all things that are kind of like automatic and ingrained in these kids in Europe when they're coming up. So that's something you definitely have to get used to and kind of adjust to because it's kind of expected without any thoughts of it.
Do you feel like having your dad as a coach that helped you like make that adapt to that
For
faster?
sure. Yeah. There's just I think things like IQ wise and just being able to listen, see, and pick up quickly, that definitely helps when you're in those situations because obviously like it's kind of like your teams are just not thrown together, but like it's a lot of new guys playing together for the first time. So it's kind of an expectation that you just kind of get in, you know the basics, and then you build from that all together. So definitely being able to pick things up quickly is a good skill to have if you're in those situations.
Did your coach speak English or did you?
Yeah, he did better than he said better than the year before. It's definitely like not broken, but he's definitely working on it. He's always asking questions about like what this means or slang or a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. He spoke enough, so I was solid. Luckily,
Gotcha.
And did you pick up on anything going on around you, the language?
oh, barely a couple. Their languages, man, it sounds. Love my Georgian guys, but like it sounds like they're coughing and throwing up like when they're speaking. Like it's bad lingo, bad language. But like the basics, obviously you pick up like hi, bye, thank you, all the simple stuff. And luckily enough, people out there like if they don't speak English, they like understand it. It's like I can get what I need to say across, even if they can't communicate it back to me. So yeah, it was doable
Coughing
and
and
lucky for
throwing
me.
up.
It's a nasty language. It's ugly.
Uh,
Um, what was this is kind of a two-part question, I guess, but since we're talking more basketball, I'll just ask the first one. What was the basketball culture in Georgia like? Because I know a lot of people who aren't familiar with European basketball specifically, you'll see like a random clip on Twitter where it's like the fire going up and like obviously crowds and stuff, but that's not again like I like to talk about the professional basketball that people see and what you think about growing up is basically 1% of what it actually is. So I know some countries like you're playing in like a PE room and then sometimes you're in one of those big arenas and stuff. And I know it varies from league to league and country to country. So what was the basketball culture like in Georgia?
Yeah, it was basically all of what you just said. So it's like soccer is definitely the biggest in the country. Like I was able to go to a national team while I was out there, and they sold out like a crazy arena. So like soccer is definitely number one. Basketball is it's like on the rise. Their national team's getting better. They have two guys in the league right now, and then one of the best EuroLeague players is Georgian. So it's definitely like on the come up, and their national teams like starting to qualify for things. So there's like more buzz around it, but just like you said, like half our games were in this big arena that they built because there were some FIBA qualifiers there, and the rest of them were in like our home gym was like ragtag, like it's just a regular high school ish, if that gym.
Take you back to Will C. Wood, huh?
Yeah, something like that, something like that. But yeah, the fans are cool. Like they especially our home fans. Like we lived in the capital city, Tbilisi, but we had to travel a little bit to play our home games just because that's where our owner was from. That's where we played. But like the fan base was strong, even if like their like basketball knowledge probably wasn't great. Like I mean, they know who they're supporting and they show out for us, which was always cool.
That's dope. That's dope. So then the flip side, what was just living culture, being in a new
Yeah,
country for the first time, and obviously a new continent halfway across the world? How was that adjustment?
man, super different. It's I mean, you always see like the podcasts or the clips of like NBA guys saying like the one of the biggest adjustments is just like the amount of time you have outside of basketball and like what you fill it with. And in Europe, it's the exact same thing, but probably tenfold because you don't have your close people around you. So I was lucky. I had three other American teammates, and they were all super cool. So we kicked it a lot, which was nice. But like the culture in general is just like it's different. Like Georgia's a developing country, so like some parts are real nice and modern, and some parts are like run down, like starting to be built but not there yet. So yeah, it's just completely different overall. The people for the most part were cool. Like just if you're in the streets, they're definitely like standoffish. Like they look at you up and down a little crazy. You don't say nothing, just kind of keep it pushing. But I mean, it was definitely an experience, lots to see and do, which was always fun just to go check out different parts of the city. But definitely a culture shock, culture change, something new to experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You develop a little daily routine outside of hoop.
For sure. Definitely little thing like little walks, little you got to figure out what times to call back home because the time change was like 12 and 11 hours depending on what time of the year it was. So uh yeah, definitely little things that you mark down at each time that you try to get done or fill time with for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Jay, before we get too far along here, I want to rewind a little bit. You talked about like being down at Idaho State and then the process of figuring out overseas. This is probably my favorite thing that you've told me
Mm,
in in this whole experience that you had. You get picked up day one by your coach and he takes you to the house, welcome you to the country. What did he put on the TV when
yeah,
you got to the
like
house? I don't Jared and Luke, I don't know if I told you this, but this is
Yeah, I
funny.
remember.
yeah, he so he was just obviously like introduction, just meeting them, talking about going forward and all that. And obviously, like it's not like college recruitment, like where they hit up your AAU coach, they hit up your trainer, they hit up all these people that are close with you to get more insight or whatever. Like they don't have much to go off of. So like he literally was saying like he Google searches, social media searches, YouTube searches, like just your name. And obviously I had episode 15. If you haven't seen it, tap in. My coach in Georgia went and looked me up on YouTube and he saw it. So we watched the whole thing. He was like, obviously, I get to see some of your personality from it. And he was like, I can tell you're genuine, good guy. Like you can obviously pick up on little things just from watching them. So shout out the Walk On Pod for helping me get my character out there for
Hey,
my
man.
coach in Georgia.
You heard it here first, man. We're global.
I
We're
was, I
global.
was,
Yeah.
you could, might be a resume builder here. Who knows? Who knows? So during that time period that Tommy's talking about, when you're kind of going through, you finish up college, you've made the decision you want to play pro. It's like you said, it's unfamiliar territory. And I think I completely relate to that. What was your mindset through it all? Because I know sometimes it would be like an exciting day that you hear, oh, such and such wants to call you and feel it out, and it turns out to be a 2-minute phone call where they just ask how tall you are, or what you've been doing, are you working out? And it's like it was hard to kind of navigate those waters. So how did you continue to stay on your routine and stay motivated through all that?
Yeah. I mean, it was like the ultimate waiting game. Like you'd hear little things like your agent be like, reached out to this team, they like you, never get a call. So it's like obviously my the whole time I knew I wanted to keep playing. So my mindset was just keep working until something comes and just having belief that something would come. There were definitely times where it was going on because I can't remember when I signed, but I didn't leave till late September. So there were times like late August, early September when like my guys were starting to leave where I was like having serious conversations like if this were to happen, what's next? Like how do I want to approach it? But no, I just kept my head down, kept working. Like obviously I have good people around me and they have belief in me and I have belief in myself, and it was, I wouldn't say rough. It was just so unknown. Like obviously, you just get to keep working and trying to perfect your craft, but like at points, it's like you don't even know where you're going to be showcasing what you've been working on next. So little questions and doubts creep in, but it's yeah, it was different, definitely a new experience, and glad I'm not having to go through it the exact same way this time as I had to last summer.
Yeah, everyone, that's the advice that I was told through the whole rookie process for sure was that the rookie year is the hardest one because like you said,
Mm,
it's completely unknown. Nobody knows you. You really have no resume or anything. You have nothing on your name. So
for
like you
sure.
said, you put yourself in a good position. So luckily it's a lot different conversations this time around. I'm sure the timetable is a lot different and you know, that's that's what you prepared for last summer.
Mm, definitely.
Just to kind of dive a little, just curious. Obviously, you talk about the waiting game and adversity, and then finally you get the call and you leave and you go over to Georgia and you stayed there the entire season and you guys had a good season and stuff. But
Mm,
naturally, adversity happens, right? It's basketball,
mm.
it's life, it's all that stuff. Um, what when adversity did hit, obviously you said the time change, everything else, being far away from your family, routine, all that. Like, what did you think about to help you get out of that adversity?
You said
What
my
did you
thing
think
cut off
about,
there.
yeah, like when you had adversity hit in
Mm,
Georgia when you were actually there and like having the time change be different and having be out there by yourself and all that
yeah,
different stuff. Like, what did you think about when adversity did hit to help you get out of that?
yeah. I mean, probably the main thing was just why I was 6,000 however many miles from home in the first place. Like obviously there was gonna be tough times, but it was like I didn't come out all this way just to give into it or not try to work myself out of it. And if I was gonna take the time to spend away from family or whatever it was, just trying to build up my basketball career, I was gonna keep keep pushing, keep staying in the gym, keep working at it. So I mean, it, definitely adversity. Um, just tried to face it head on though. Tried to look at it no different than any other adversity I face within the game at any level, honestly. I mean, basketball is basketball. At the end of the day, obviously, it's cool to be playing pro overseas, but it's like it's still the same game I was playing when I was 5 or 6. So just try to what they say, keep the main thing the main thing. That's everyone's
Yeah.
favorite quote these days. But yeah,
Uh, he must have got that from a book he read.
Real, real.
I don't know, man. But like, I don't
I
know.
like that
To
though.
to Jared's point though, like you were in college for however many years. You were in college for 5 years, right?
yeah, 5.
You were in college for 5 years. Again, like adversity hits, you deal with it a certain way in college. Like
Mm,
to be honest, from the stories I've heard from overseas, things are way more catered to in college and the resources are way more readily
yeah,
available and things are a lot
mm,
more easy to deal with when adversity hits. So
for
like
sure.
you taught like you made it sound pretty easy there. They're like, yeah, just remind myself why I'm here and all that. But at the same time, it's like you are in Georgia. So there's
Mm,
no way it was just that easy. You get what I'm saying? And like
nah,
I
yeah,
appreciate the humility and all that, but like for our listeners, like I don't want them to think that you were like, man, I just put my nose to the grind and like stayed in the gym. It's like, well,
mm,
I'm sure there were times when the gym wasn't your gym where you couldn't be in there, or like
yeah,
like you said, you had to travel however far to get to the home games. Where like sometimes it felt like that wasn't the right play or whatever it was.
yeah.
So I don't know. I wanted to kind of hit back on it because, like I said, you made it sound pretty easy and like
Mm.
keep the main thing sounds cool and all that. But I don't think it was. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure it
Nah,
was a
nah,
lot more
you're good.
difficult than it
This is
sounds.
too cool, Jay, man. That's it. Uh, the
Nah,
one, the one
Jay's a
thing,
lot
definitely.
mentally tougher than
Mm,
most people. Is what we're
the
getting
one
at
thing
here.
I can remember, obviously I'm old and it's been a long time, but the one thing I can remember that was tough for me, and again, I'm not going to speak for Jay or Luke or Tom, but like I remember being when I'd be in Italy and let's say I'd have a bad practice. Everybody has bad practices, right? Like that's like a
mm,
maybe just wasn't mentally there, maybe I shot bad, or maybe I got cussed out the whole time and getting cussed out in a different language that you don't understand half the things they're saying, but you know that you're getting cussed out because you've been playing basketball your whole life. It's like when I get done practice, I couldn't just call my dad and have him answer because it's 3 a.m.
Mm,
Stuff like that. I couldn't call my friends because
You know
like
what? You know
it's
what would hurt? You
yeah,
can't have
it's
your comfort meal, man. Like I have a
yeah,
comfort meal here. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you go to
Facts.
Tanzania, I don't know, in the
yeah,
middle of nowhere, I can't have my comfort meal. That would hurt. Like that would hurt. That would be a big
I don't
time
know.
yeah,
adjustment.
Ain't
Like
got
Italy
no,
little,
ain't
didn't
got
have
no,
that problem. No problem on
ain't
that
got
end,
no
Italy. So,
Chick-fil-A out in Georgia, man. They don't
no
have it.
chick,
oh
no
yeah,
chick.
no
but I think it's
chicks.
just
Ooh,
like
Like,
little things like that. Like obviously you think
thank
about
God
going.
Canes isn't there yet.
Okay. Anyways, I like the big picture things where it's obvious a
uh,
language barrier, time barrier, living's going to be different, all that. But like the little things that you're completely accustomed to completely
mm,
change out the window. And so
for
I don't
sure.
know. I just think that's something that a lot of people probably
Yeah.
take for granted. And I wanted to highlight it because, like I said, you made it sound like, yeah, I hit adversity, but I just
No,
like, you know what I'm
I
saying? I'm
also
through
think
it.
I also think well again I am going to speak for Jay now, so sorry Jay. I've known him long enough. I think I get to do this once in a while. I do. And we are going to give him another shout out. Like that's definitely the big part of that's John and Lisa, right? Because I remember specifically playing for your dad, and there would be games where we were playing like complete crap, and like
mm,
his energy never wavers, like never
yeah,
wavers. And I feel like that's like something that was instilled in you. And it's just like we talk about this stuff in all different sorts of ways, but just like your habits, man. Like how your dad approaches the game, how your mom approaches things, like that seeps into you. So I think that's like another reason why probably Jay is so calm and collected
yeah.
in
I
those
think,
situations.
yeah, for sure. You're definitely right with my upbringing and family definitely play a huge part of it. Also, like I think looking back now, I was 8, almost 9 months there. Like I found like my comfort. Like there's definitely the comfort that you have here, and you get there like that first week, you're like, oh my god, like I don't know, like how am I gonna do this? Like the food delivery, the food places, like it's just completely like there's nothing that's the same. So there's nothing that's resonates or is familiar with you. But like as you go on, it's not that you're forced to, but if you want to have something to like lean on or rely on, you kind of have to find your own comfort. So whether it is like that food spot or like I said earlier, like my American teammates, they were great. Like we all lived in the same complex and right next to each other. So like having those guys to share the experience with and then be able to bounce off each other whenever needed was also a big help. And then just like I think something I've worked on for a long time is just like how I talk to myself. Like for a long time, especially like on the court, like I could be really negative and negative with self-talker, I guess. And I think like as I've grown and kind of understood myself more in the game more, like I'm able to talk myself through things in a way that makes me see things more clearly, but also comforts myself. Whether good things are happening, bad things are happening, I never want to waver, be too high, too low. So I think being able to develop that skill from like a while back has helped me a lot now being overseas and just kind of being able to find my comfort and my zone, I guess, while I'm over there.
That's big
Yeah.
time. Were
Yeah.
the other American teammates, were they rookies? Been over there for a few years? Like
Yeah,
what was the
so
makeup?
no, so one was it was his second year and he had came back, so he was with the team the year before and then he came back. He would the team was in the second division and they won and got moved up to first division when I came and he was the best player MVP, so they brought him back. And then we had two guys that were there early who got moved out, and then two that finished the season with us, and they had been playing for a while. So no direct rookie. I was the only like real
True rookie.
import
Yeah.
rookie. Yeah,
That's probably good though.
Nice.
I'm sure you could pick up on things that like their
mm-hmm.
habits and different routines
For
that they
sure.
probably had over their other
Yeah,
years. And especially if they've been
definitely.
to other countries too.
Exactly. Yeah, they were big helps. Definitely good getting to know them personally, but just like for my own benefit, basketball wise, it was definitely helpful.
Did you find yourself connecting with any of the Georgian teammates, or was the language barrier too hard for
No,
to get across?
No. Basically all of them spoke English.
Okay.
So like it was cool getting to know them, and they were like some were like we had a couple that were younger than me, and then some that were like a good amount older than me. So it was like a different range, and obviously getting to connect, and that dynamic's always interesting. Like you got 19-year-olds, and then you have 32-year-olds with two kids and a wife. So it's like obviously like that dynamic is. I got a little bit of it at Idaho State.
I was
We had a
just gonna
bunch of
say that.
married
Yeah.
guys, but it's definitely that's probably one of the biggest team dynamics is just the difference in stages of life for everyone.
Did any of the native players have a second job that they did outside of basketball? Because I know I've heard some
Mm,
stories in some of these countries that like they'll literally come from their other job to practice, and like that's
yeah,
just that what they got to do.
yeah. No, some of them, none like in that situation. There was one or two who would like coach some of the younger teams in the club. I don't think that's because they had to more than they wanted to, but
Yeah,
they yeah, there were a couple that did that.
that's pretty dope though. That's similar to like
Mm,
what we talked about when Matt was on. That like you pick up and they try to feed you in with the
Right.
younger
mm,
teams in the ball club. I want to ask you living situation wise and stuff because when we had Brooks the Bishop on, which was also a long time ago at this point, he talked about his
mm.
apartment in Belarus, which I understand is, a different country and different way of living and all that, but it sounded pretty rough. What was your living situation looking like?
I was real fortunate. They had put a pretty modern and new apartment complex right across the street from one of the old FIBA qualifier gyms. So I was in a nice modern apartment. Me and one other teammate, so we had a two-bedroom, and then no, it was straight. So I definitely nothing to worry about. And then obviously the gym was right across the street. So
Yeah,
it
that's
was
nice.
fortunate, especially from some of the things I've heard from friends and old teammates and other horror stories that are
I
out
was
there
gonna
on the
say
Or
internet.
there's
Yeah,
some horror stories out there, man.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
unfortunately, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes there's people who find a way to get through those horror stories, and that's probably the reason why they make it to where they're supposed to. So I think it,
mhm,
to each their own. But if I agree, I would appreciate a nice little living situation. Being close to the gym is
yeah,
nice, man. I know I struggle with some of that this year where gym access wasn't really a thing, and
yeah,
that could have solved some issues. But
for
you know,
sure.
different story for a different day. What was what was your league comprised of? Was it all just in the country of Georgia, or did you play other teams for different countries and the travel was a little far,
Good
or how
question.
did that look?
Yeah, no. So we were strictly in Georgia. There was one team in our league who played FIBA Euro Cup, so they traveled, but they were the only one. Everyone else was just inside of Georgia. I think it was 11 teams, and it was all in Georgia. So most of the teams were in the capital, which is where we lived, and then there were a few scattered outside, but none of the travel was too crazy.
That's actually nice then. That's definitely
Yeah,
nice. There's no
And then
travel crazy stories, nothing like that. No bus
no,
breaking
no,
down, no none of that.
no. See, we didn't even have the bus. It'd be like four cars.
Yeah, I like that. That's gritty.
Got
That's
a
real
wow.
team
gritty.
driving. No, it is.
Sounds
No,
like the
but we
road
don't.
trips, man, the Enterprise.
Yeah, we don't even pull up together. Everybody's like 5 minutes apart to the gym.
Like,
It's
where's bus three at? Where's van number three at?
That's awesome.
yeah, so it'd be three players who had their cars driving, and then our coach drove. So it was always four cars wherever we went.
Nice.
Players driving is crazy. I feel like I
Yeah.
don't know.
No,
Like
it is
people got to
definitely
get there.
yeah, exactly somehow.
I
I
like
have
it
a
though.
couple I have a couple questions. One that just came to mind. How many coaches did you guys have on staff?
We had head coach and two assistants at the beginning, then we got one like halfway through. So by then
Okay.
there was three assistants.
Nice. And then my other question, you got to experience like an actual playoff series. Like obviously
Mhm.
we've heard I've everyone, we talk about how difficult the playoffs gets in the NBA, but like what a best, I think it was best of 5 for you, right?
Yeah,
Like what does
yeah,
that
best of 5.
consist of game to game basis? Like does the strategy, like when, like say you win a game or you lose a game, but you're like, oh, like we know what we can do to be better. Like what was that process like for you guys in the playoffs?
Yeah, it was interesting and different. Like the way they laid it out, it was like you played 2 games back to back, and then it was like a 3 or 4 day gap, and you played 2 more back to back, and then like a 3 or 4 day gap, and then the last one. So it was like those back to backs. One, we played 1 game a week all year, unless you were like scheduling little scrimmages in between. So like playing those back to backs felt like I was playing like fifth grade AAU, like 4 games in one day, and my body wasn't used to that. So that was like probably the biggest difference. But then, like you were saying, there's definitely strategy stuff, especially like in that big gap that they gave us. Like there's a lot of time to make adjustments or hone in on things that worked well. So, but like you said, like the attention to detail goes up drastically. Like when you have one opponent to focus on, it's much easier to kind of lock in and know tendencies and players. And so yeah, it's definitely, you feel like a heightened sense of urgency, awareness, all that in the playoff series. I'm looking forward to like experiencing more in different places, especially that are more established and different kind of setups. It'll be interesting to go through those and kind of have those
Sure.
playoff memories, I guess you say.
Yeah, that's fun.
No,
It's
that's
so
dope.
fun.
That's dope. I think I have one more. And then we can probably go starting 5 unless you guys have anything else. But
Mhm.
um with a year under your belt, with plans moving forward, what's the biggest takeaway you had from this year that you think is going to make you a successful professional basketball player?
Biggest takeaway. Oh man, there's so much. You learn a lot, especially like when you're isolated like that. You find yourself like just digging into the game, but also like what you do. So I guess biggest takeaway. Oh man, I don't even know. I guess it would probably be like obviously we mentioned like the attention to detail goes up, but like so it was like 2 rounds, and you play each team twice, once home, once away, or whatever. Like once we got into the second round, like the scout on me like was completely different. Like you get that 1 game, and like everybody knows. So like when I catch the ball the second round, like I have no space. So it's just like I think going forward, knowing that I use my shot to kind of create the rest of my offense and what I do is just being able to one continue to gain space, but what to do once that space is closed and how I can be more effective getting downhill, or whether it's getting the 3 back, or all the different like movement, cut, pass stuff that Europeans kind of do second nature, that obviously we don't necessarily do the same over here. So I would say probably just one, knowing how people are going to guard me, and then two, just like knowing the European game and kind of using it to my advantage and how I play.
I like that answer. I like that
Well
answer a lot.
said. Yeah.
Fellas, are we good to go? We ready?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Excited
Do
for
it.
this
All right, so starting 5. We did mention some travel stuff. Obviously, the whole premise of this conversation was Jay living and playing in a completely different country halfway across the world. So today we have starting 5 travel essentials. You can take that in whatever direction you want, whether it's the actual travel itself, whether it's the trip, whatever it is. Starting 5 travel essentials. Now, Jay, I know it's been a while since you've been on here. I don't think we were doing snake draft when you were on the first time, but we do a snake draft now, right? So one
Okay.
pick at a time, not all 5 at a time. And
Yeah.
we usually let the guests pick the order of the draft. So it's up to you
Mm.
to decide this order, and then we'll go from there.
I'll take the one, and then
Savage
one.
choice.
Good spot to be.
I think I'll just go on my screen. So Luke, Jared, then Tommy.
Nice. Nice, Jay.
That's what we'll
That works
do.
for me.
All right. The
Might as well done
1-1.
never mind.
No,
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 go ahead.
Jared
No.
wanted the
Go
name
ahead.
generator.
no. Jared, we'll say that. We'll say that again for next week, Bucko. You've been lucky on it the last 2 weeks too.
No,
man, so I
just
don't wanna-
last week.
man, all
No,
that-
no,
all
you
that
got the
last
position.
week.
You got the position you wanted 2 weeks ago too.
That's not true.
Jared
That is
spent like
true.
3 episodes in a row complaining about his order in the generator, and he got rewarded
Man, I'm not
twice.
hearing that.
There we go.
The universe hurt me. Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Let's see, 1-1. I'm gonna go downloaded show. Whatever I'm watching at that time.
That's
You
great.
gotta
That's
have
such
it.
a veteran pick.
You have to have it downloaded.
Yeah. So point
Really
guard,
good.
we're going with the downloaded TV show. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I like that.
It's
All
really
right.
good, Jay.
My point guard.
Thank you.
My point guard's a, no pun intended, a plug and play system player. You need this guy on every trip you go to. I don't care if it's for business. I don't care if it's for pleasure. You need a portable charger. So give me the portable charger at the point guard.
Excellent
Wow.
pick.
It fits in
is-
all systems. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. So
This is working out great, actually. Thank you, Luke and Jay. Because my point guard, he's got to be, he's going to be a great listener, man. He's got to listen to what his teammates need. He's got to listen to what the coach wants, integrated into the teammates. So his ears got to be dialed. Give me headphones. Headphones at my point guard.
yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough. Are you an
simple.
AirPods? Are you an AirPods guy or are you a wired guy? A wired guy?
Look
Okay.
at him. Look at him. Look at him.
First of all, this is
Look at
just
him.
for the pod.
Go ahead and
Okay.
look at him. Go ahead and look at him.
Let me just get this off now without the grind my gears. AirPods are terrible for flights because
Nice.
the sound is terrible. If I'm trying to listen to music, AirPods are not the way to go. Apple, you guys need to figure it out. Stop charging
Interesting.
people $300 for headphones that
Interesting.
has a bunch of noise.
You just take this platform and burn bridges. Just burn bridges.
I
Like,
actually I think I actually put Apple on one of my brands that we should partner with. But this is
Yeah.
I'm taking the Elon Musk route.
So what
here, and
headphones
I'm
do you wear on the
challenging you
road?
to
You
be
wear
better.
Beats or what? What's
I
that?
have the Beats, the just earbuds Beats.
Yeah,
But
the
even
Hove
then,
ones. Got you.
no, okay, no, I don't have those ones. I could get my piece off on Beats too if you want me to do that. But
No, but another time.
so just say headphones, bro.
I
Just
got
say
headphones. I got
Okay,
headphones. I
thank
wrote
you.
it down.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry. The production team
Don't
has
put
it
me in a
down.
box, man. Don't put me in a box.
I didn't. Tommy asked a question.
Okay.
And you went in.
Yeah,
I'm
I
biggest
not
company in
just
the world.
I'm not just a pass first point guard, man. I can
Don't
be
put me in a
dynamic.
box, he says.
It's crazy.
Right. Okay. My point guard, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, this is absolutely necessary. Long flights, maybe a car ride. I can't say I've used this much in a car. Definitely a flight staple. Give me the neck pillow here. Give me the neck pillow,
You're a big flight sleeper guy.
dude.
I'm
Those
about
planes
as
are so
big of a neck
uncomfortable.
pillow, anti-neck
Aficionado.
pillow that is. No, I
Oh,
Are
hate
you
those.
anti-neck pillow?
I think
Really?
they're bullshit. My bad.
You want the one
excuse
that
me.
you
not a
can just
fan.
put over your
Yeah.
head and you put your arms in it, like
No.
like
I
The
just think
inflatable?
I just think they take up way too much space, and like I think people who wear them think they're better than me because they have one, and I don't like that. Like, why are you walking around with a
No,
pillow, bro?
fair.
Good job. Like,
Fair.
I mean,
Wait, hold on. Can I ask a question? Does it make
go
you
ahead.
more upset that they walk around the airport with it around their neck, or that it's
Yes.
strapped to their backpack?
I don't. Well, when it's shot to the
Around the
backpack, it
neck.
doesn't bother them much. But
Yeah,
if you're
take it off.
walking on the plane, if you haven't sat in your seat and you already have it around your neck, you're liable to get slapped. Like, I'm just
Criminal.
saying, like, what are
So,
you doing,
here's-
bro? It's not
here's
doing
what I-
anything. You walk around like this, like, come on, bro.
Here's my 2 cents. I actually became a neck pillow. Jay was there for my first time getting a neck pillow. Was to Panama. I had
Oh,
never.
Your
I had
neck
never.
pillows.
Yeah, no, you're right. You can say it, Jared. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want to.
Go ahead. Dude, go ahead, man. If you got something to say it.
Oh man, no.
My NPV, if you will. My NPV, if you will. I know what Jared was thinking. I'll say it for him.
NPV is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it changed my life. That flight to Panama, that neck pillow changed my life. I didn't really know what a neck pillow brought to the
Feeling
table
so sideways.
until then. So I'm grateful
Great
for
first
that.
experience.
I'm
What is
grateful
your
for the
shooting guard?
Atlanta. I'm grateful for the Atlanta airport providing
What
a neck
is your
pillow.
shooting
Anyway,
guard?
my shooting guard is going. My shooting guard is going to be a goodie bag. You need a goodie bag of snacks, candy
I'm not
on
mad
the
at that.
side. You need a goodie bag of snacks, candy on the side. Maybe some H2O, body armor, something. Beverage, whatever it may be.
So do you Just for clarification, are you going through TSA with the Dollar Tree in your backpack, or are you buying snacks when you get there at the local duty-free store?
I'm the local store guy.
So you get through security and spend $12 on a bag of pretzels.
I spent $10 in the airport today.
So when
$10
you were in Atlanta and you bought a neck pillow in your
Yeah.
goodie bag, you probably dropped 50 ball. I'm
He
just like you
all
probably
his
dropped 50
per
ball.
diem was gone, bro. Per diem was gone.
Like, Tommy, did you eat dinner? I got a neck pillow though. Like,
Jay,
you know
he's
what I'm saying?
thinking. Jay, he's thinking we got per diem, and then that's. I mean, I'm not even
Yeah,
going to
no, he
entertain
was-
anything
Even-
else.
okay, even better.
He was
Deep
swiping.
pockets at the airport. All right, Jared, what's up, man? You're back
Bro,
to
this
the
is
shooting guard.
this is crazy. I cannot believe this has made it this far. And like when you play basketball, what do you have to do? You have to score points. And if you're gonna
More
travel,
points.
yeah, score
Where
more
are you going
points.
with this?
There's
I know where
one
he's going. I
thing
know
you
where he's going
need
with
to
this. Yeah.
travel, and that's an identification.
Well, that could have been good. But
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You
I
need
thought-
an ID. You need an ID, whether
I
it's
thought you
such
were
a
gonna go.
boring
I thought you were gonna go a way different route, Jared. To be
Yeah.
Yeah,
honest.
Oh.
I did too. That was real
It's
dad
fine.
of you. But I
That was
respect
such
I
a
mean,
dad
you-
pick. I mean,
you
come
literally,
on, dude.
you
Let's
literally can't
go.
travel without
No,
ID.
it's-
No, you can't.
You
No, you
can't. Like
can't.
you literally can't. Like whether it's
Obviously.
a passport or whether it's your school ID or whether it's your driver's
Yeah.
license.
I thought we were taking this a different direction, but fine.
I'm gonna take it a different direction. I'm gonna
I'll
take
go with my
Jared's
backpack next time.
I'm gonna go with Jared's exact intro. In order to win a basketball game, you need to score points, right?
Yeah,
As my
good
shooting
point.
guard, give me flight loyalty programs because come 6 months from now, when I've been traveling all season and putting my
That's
Southwest
good.
points
That's really
in,
good.
I get a free
Yeah,
trip.
you
I
get a
trip.
free trip to San Diego. This is like, you get $100. Good for
Okay,
you.
no.
I'd take a free
Don't do
trip
that.
to San
Don't do that.
Diego.
Don't do
Gladly
that.
take a
Don't do
free
that.
trip to
Don't
San
do that.
Diego.
Yeah, you're gonna need an
I
ID to
haven't-
get there.
I haven't paid for
And
a
my neck
flight
pillow.
because of points since I was allowed to, probably like 3 years. I'm just saying it goes a long way.
Hey,
And
can we
so
get a
to
round of
your
applause for Luke?
Score points.
Grab Luke.
4 points.
Hey, okay, you're
love
just trying to.
I thought for
incite-
sure you were
you're
gonna go
in-
with your
you're-
A-list joint.
No, you're inciting
Yeah.
me now because you're gonna get me going again. You're gonna
That's just
incite
good.
me now.
Jared's
I
gonna pick
never
the
wanna get
Delta
you going,
Sky Lounge
by the way.
next.
No, first of all, I don't mess with Delta. I mess with Southwest, but my beef
Big
with
Southwest guy.
Southwest is
Big
that
Southwest guy.
a big Southwest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I fly so much, I should have 500,000 points. And somehow I don't.
Maybe you're not
I
doing
need
it right.
I need more points. I need more bang for my buck, man.
More points, like I said.
Yeah.
So
More
go ahead and give me
points.
the loyalty program for the flights. I think it pays off dividends. And again, this is
The
my
Capital
shooting
One
guard
Venture card.
my shooting guard's a playmaker too. You come off a curl, double come, so the lob, because that lob, that's a slam dunk getting a free flight in 5 months. You know what I mean?
You mean a companion pass? That'd be better actually to call that a companion pass. That would
I
be a
don't-
better analogy.
I just want a free flight.
I think Jay's ready to pick.
Yeah, but you can't
this
throw
is
yourself a
great.
self lob.
Why
The,
not?
Off
the
back-
loyalty
off
program is
backboard?
throwing me a lob. He's
Yeah,
throwing a
why
lob
can't
to
he throw him
someone
a
else
self
on
lob?
my
The
list.
backboard's there for a reason. We saw many self
Ant
lobs this year,
Edwards.
Jared.
Yeah, you chose Ant Edwards first overall.
Joel Embiid injured himself throwing a self lob this year.
That was
Oh,
crazy.
jeez, that's bad. Okay,
That was
Jay,
actually a
two
missed
people.
field goal. If we're being
Jay, what you
honest.
got shooting guard?
No, we're gonna on my two. We're gonna play off headphones a little bit. So I have a car version and a plain version. You gotta have a specific playlist. I have a playlist for
Wow.
both, for my
Yeah,
car
nice.
and for the plane. I really don't want to be hearing YoungBoy when I'm trying to take
No,
off
you
in the
don't.
air. You
And
know what
that's
I
a
mean?
really
It's
good
really
thing.
That's just
good.
not what I
Yeah,
want.
Especially
veteran.
before like
it's veteran.
ever. Actually, I don't ever want to hear your voice, but especially before noon. Like,
No. Fair. And then in my three, this is more recent, but my three, I'm going Z-Quil. I gotta have it on the plane to sleep.
What is?
I
Oh,
can't-
okay, gotcha.
It's like
So it's like melatonin.
yeah, it's just
it's like
a sleep drug.
Z.
It's like a chemical version of
Dayquil,
melatonin.
NyQuil.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's elite. I can't sleep on planes any other way.
No,
So I
that's
gotta have
good.
it.
So you're taking sleeping pills. That's crazy.
He's taking sleeping
Need it.
pills.
Medicated. Come on, baby.
Equal.
This
Okay.
guy's
Let him
like-
rock, Jay. Let him rock, bro.
Guy's just praying to wake up.
Okay.
Okay. So
It's
Oh.
Jay. Jay's coming back. Small forward.
that was his small forward.
That
was his small forward.
Oh, did I?
Playlist and
Playlist.
Z-Quil.
Oh, and Z-Quil. So I got caught up in the
Yeah.
Z-Quil.
Keep up, buddy.
My bad.
My small four is a real defender. Based on the contents of this Zoom call, and me knowing Jay and Tommy pretty well, you guys won't understand this. Jared, you'll get this. I can't be uncomfortable with my facial hair. I can't do it. So I always have my clippers with me on the road. I always bring my clippers in case I gotta line the mustache up, line the neck beard up, whatever it is. Make sure I'm not looking musty and it's not itching or uncomfortable in any way. So I always bring the clippers with me on the road. So give me that at the small forward.
I mean, that's not a bad pick.
No, it's a good pick. Like I said, you'll appreciate it.
I appreciate it, but I always try to plan. If I'm only gonna be gone for less than.
I had a 14-day road trip this year.
Yeah,
I
that's
brought
what
the
I'm
clippers.
saying. I
gave myself a little taper around day
I respect
10,
that.
lined up the neck. We were good to go.
Yeah, I'm saying my determination of whether I bring clippers is how long I'm gonna be gone.
No, that makes sense. But let's say you are on a long road trip. One, you don't know if you can get a haircut anywhere, like because you don't know if you're going to be in, somewhere that doesn't have a barber. And two, I'm not trying to pay prices for a little cleanup haircut while I'm on the road. So
yeah, I get cut before I leave. I'm talking about beard, but you're like all in one. You have those skills. I don't have those skills.
Yeah, like I said, a little self taper action. LA cuts, tap in.
Yeah,
go ahead,
LA cuts. So at small forward, we talked about I want a good athlete. I want to be able to be athletic. The hardest part, and this, I'm sure all of you guys can appreciate this, of traveling is being uncomfortable. So for my small forward, I need leg room. Leg room. Whether I'm in the car or whether I'm on the plane, leg room. I want to be able to stretch my leg out.
All right, Drake, 6'1", need some leg room. It's a real abstract pick, man.
How's that abstract? That's pretty standard.
No, it's like but it's not like a tangible thing, I guess I should say.
Yes, it is. I can pay for leg room.
You can't touch leg room,
aka
it's not tangible.
For it, though.
What does tangible mean, Jared?
I'm using something to pay for something that I want, right? So I'm using a tangible good.
Tangible means I can touch it, Jared.
Okay. Potato.
Wait, but how do you get leg room in the car? Like,
if I ask you to move your seat forward, if I sit sideways, like.
What if you're driving?
If I'm driving, way back. Or I'll put it on cruise control.
Y'all didn't see the Silver Surfer. You could not sit behind the driver's seat in the Silver Surfer. Oh
no, yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, if I'm driving, I throw it on cruise control. If my knee starts getting stiff, and I will literally put both my legs up in the farthest. Like I can stretch my legs. Silver Surfer was elite. I can stretch my legs.
Kids at home listening, never do what Jared is talking about. Are you?
Yeah,
like,
if you put it on cruise control,
swung his body to the side. Like, come on. That's
not what I'm saying. You're blowing it up right now.
You just said you put it in cruise control. You put your legs over the console.
No. I didn't say that. I said to the side, to the left, like to the left of the brake pedal.
Yeah,
where
I do that.
Stretch my leg completely out.
To the side.
Jared, I know what you're talking about, Jared.
This guy Luke is on one right now, bro. What are you talking about,
bro?
Tangible, and all that nonsense.
Tangible Assets is a great song by Larry June. Tommy,
Anyway. I'm gonna switch over to my two picks here are gonna be road trip related, okay, in the car. The members of this podcast know that I do drive a lot. I am a road trip guy. You gotta have this thing at this 3 here. My goodie bag comes in handy, right? I don't want to get trash all over the car. I need the car trash can. Post up so I can throw the goodie bag contents into the car trash can and play a little game.
That's
play a little
game.
Weird. And then
I have one that goes on the little side of the door. It's like
that's exactly where you put it.
Jared, it's actually a good play.
That's weird.
Thank you.
It comes in handy. I thought it was lame until I got one, and I was like, I'm glad I got one.
Tap in, Jared.
How about just not have trash in your car?
That's also a good idea, but sometimes
it's also a good idea. But with my goodie bag,
it's free game. It's
built
6
in
bags
trash.
of dots to Jeep.
Yeah.
It's free game, bro. It's free game. Get to the gas station, empty the trash can, and we move.
Not all things that are free are good for you.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Before this, I don't know how to word this, but I need someone that I can talk to on the phone for a good amount of time. I don't know how to put this into words, but this is a road trip essential. Like I gotta be able to have a conversation with someone.
Chit chat companion.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
sure.
conversation companion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Something like that. Like anybody. Like I'll call anyone. Just be like, hey, what's up, man? And then we'll just have a conversation. I know Jay knows about this. Like
I was gonna
it's
say, Jay,
relevant.
how many of these did you get, Jay?
I've
Over the
gotten a
last
few.
2 years.
I've gotten a few for sure.
I've got a few as well.
Yeah, it's necessary, man. Necessary.
Actually, Tommy, Jared, are you knocking this pick or do you like this pick?
No, I like this pick.
Okay, never
Okay.
mind. I won't say anything then.
Yeah, I wasn't knocking
Jared
the
likes
pick.
to call me. Jared calls me at like 8 o'clock every night.
It's necessary, bro.
Yeah, I'm coming home from sport courts. All right, I got you. Like,
No, usually if I call you, there's something pressing that I have to talk to you about.
so AKA he calls me every day.
Damn.
It's-
I don't
Because
get these
something
calls.
happens every day. You don't.
That's
want them.
because Luke. Yeah, you don't want him, and Luke sees
My
what
hairline
happens
has
every day.
receded because of
Hey, I'll get these calls soon enough, then I guess.
Yeah.
You don't want them.
And it's not every day he's gassing it.
It's like 3 days a week.
No, okay, so it's not every day.
No, you're right. My fault. Back to you, Waters.
Okay. So at my power forward, there's a couple of different ways. I feel like my team is really solid, but once again, this is an essential thing. Not everyone is going to agree with this pick, and I'm okay with that. This is probably overpaying for my second round pick, but even if I'm traveling in the car or in the plane, I have to have like a bottled water. Like I can't just do the water they offer me on the plane or
Well, yeah, that's
like
a baby cup.
like I need that smart water that that's where I'm going to pay my $7. If I'm going to pay for something and I didn't like when I get to the airport, I'm going to buy a $7 smart water because it's just way better for me refreshing wise than
I bought a $6 smart water today.
than drinking a deja vu lukewarm
Tommy's been
canned
flexing
water.
on us all episode about his airport purchases. This is
I
crazy.
traveled today, guys.
So just give me
Um,
smart water, man. Smart water.
I
That's my go-to.
put a trusty water bottle. Is that yeah?
No,
Or
smart
bottle,
water.
trusty bottle of water. You want smart
Yeah.
water?
I want smart water. That's what I go for.
All right. All right. So at my power forward, I would be shocked if people agree with me on this one, especially the people on this podcast. I can see myself getting made fun of by the guy in the top left corner. And that's okay.
That's gotta be me.
It is you.
Right.
And that's fine. That is okay. But this is something that I think is completely necessary to any travel. Especially is if it actually no, for both business or leisure. My power forward's a playmaker. It sees the floor well. It knows the X's and O's well, and makes sure everyone else is in the spot that they're supposed to be so the play can be executed. I got an itinerary at my power forward. Okay, see, I told you weren't gonna rock with that. What's wrong with an itinerary?
How old are you?
Dude, I love a good itinerary. I love a good
So
itinerary.
you print it out and laminate it or what? Like your MapQuest?
Dude, it's 2024, bro. Nobody prints anything out. Are you kidding me?
I'm just asking.
Like, bro,
It's 2024. Who has an itinerary?
Jared, everyone does. If you take if you travel with a basketball team, college or professional or even high school, I'm sure you have an itinerary of where you're staying, where you're going, what time your practices are, what time your game is, when you're leaving the flight home. If you go on a trip with the fellas, you have an itinerary, so you know the activities planned. So you're not.
Tom,
just
what did the
pinballing it.
itinerary look like last weekend, bro?
It was great. Tell him it was great. Tell him it was great right now.
It was detailed. It was well done.
It was great. It was.
He was
great.
prepared.
Everything
He
was
was prepared.
seamless because.
So
of it,
how did you deliver the itinerary? Was it like a shared Google
He
Doc?
dropped a PDF file in the group chat.
It was
No
a picture.
way.
It was a picture, actually. It was a.
Was it a
like
picture? Okay,
It was
my
an
bad.
image.
No, you're on
God,
top
bro.
of it. You're on top of it.
But
Dinner reservations, all that?
It had all of our faces surrounded it. It was well done. Like
Jared,
it
I'm
had a
telling you.
picture of me next to a certain activity
You
we were
need
doing.
you need to
picture of
find a
Luke.
hobby, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I have a lot of hobbies. The fact that I get episodes out are still on top of this is pretty special. But bro, I'm telling you, if you're not on the itinerary wave, you got to get on it. Especially you, bro. You got young kids. Like you gotta have things. You gotta have things planned.
That's how I know that you'd never been around kids because there's no such thing as itinerary.
I gotta have.
There's no
I gotta have a
such
bare
thing.
bones. I gotta have a bare bones idea
All right,
of
we're
what's
gonna
going on.
get to the airport at 8:30. No, you're not. Sienna wants to go to the bathroom. Oh my God!
Then let Sienna go to the bathroom.
That's fine.
I
that
didn't have a specific time on it.
That might
It was
take
just like, this is
15
what we're doing.
minutes. It might
Bro,
take
I'm
a
not
half
hearing
hour.
it. I'm not
We
hearing
might
that.
have a
It's-
meltdown.
You got to
We
be
might
prepared, dude.
not know where the right Barbie is. Like we might not be able to leave this house.
If you don't know where the right Barbie is, you didn't plan it ahead, aka you didn't have an itinerary for it.
Nah, that's not true. I just can't wait, bro. Just can't wait.
I-
Can't wait.
Cool.
Can't wait. Can't wait. I just can't wait.
This isn't a comment on me being a father, which is crazy, by the way.
But
This is a
you're
comment
telling
on
me I
being
should have an
prepared.
itinerary. You know, you're telling me
No,
I should
I
have
said
an
I said that you
itinerary
would
because
no.
I
I
have
said
kids.
I said you as
This has
a
gotten
father should appreciate.
completely out of hand.
Can I get my
might
point off
add.
before he pretzel jobs this? I said that
This
you would
whole starting
appreciate.
five has been pretzel jobs.
All right, can I speak, dude? Damn. Listen, I said you would appreciate an itinerary because you're a father that knows the value of being prepared.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get behind the itinerary. Jay, it's back to you.
Oh man. What am I for?
Four.
I'm going out of Tommy's goodie bag. I'm going specific though. I gotta
Nice.
have before we pull up to the airport or at the gas station, wherever, you need Lifesaver gummies,
Ooh.
wild berry.
Yeah, you are a wild berry guy. I remember that.
Yeah, they're high level, no crumbs. We're not worried about crumbs in your lap, in the plane, in nobody's car. And it's a sugary fruit snack. So you gotta have it. And then in my five, I'm actually surprised I made it this far. You gotta have like comfort feet. You gotta have slides,
Nice.
whatever.
That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Good pick. I like
Whatever
that
your
one.
choice is, you gotta have comfort shoes for sure.
I like that. That's a good pick. Okay. You guys can throw the flag and say it's already been picked, and that's fine. I have a backup ready. I just mine's worded a little different, and I have it for a completely different reason. I have melatonin here as a center. Is that
It's
fine? Is
No,
that
that's
playable?
good. That's
Okay,
like
so-
that's different than
Different.
Zico.
Okay, cool. So the
Yeah.
reason why I have melatonin here, I not for the plane sleep idea, not for the travel sleep idea, but for specifically for basketball players, college or pro or whatever level it is. Sometimes you have a really late game followed by a really early travel day the next day. You have to find a way to wind down. And I know there's another way that a lot of people wind down with, and I don't condone that. So I resort to melatonin. And it helps me relax. It helps me get to sleep at a reasonable hour, and it helps me get real quality sleep when the days stack up and it's hard to wind down. So give me melatonin at my center. Real knockout punch.
Shout out to Luke, man.
That's a good one.
Agendas.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I like that.
man,
That's better than the
that's just
itinerary.
good.
Was that
That's
on the
I don't think it
itinerary
is,
or
though.
no? Was
I
that
got
on the
Yeah,
melatonin.
he has 3 a.m.
9:45
melatonin.
take melatonin.
You know what's funny? So if it's
Crazy
a night that I
strike.
know I'm going to take melatonin, so like let's say we have a late game and I know I'm going to get up, my first order of business when I step into the hotel room, melatonin. Then I, do all my stuff, shower, get ready for bed, all that. So by the time I get all my activities done and everything's packed up ready for the morning, I knock out like that and I'm ready.
Wait, I
Have
have
you
a
ever
question.
fell asleep in the shower like
No.
after? Okay.
No, because I usually only take half a dose because I don't want it to
Oh.
like completely knock me out. I want to be able to wake up in the morning because usually it's like 4 to 5 a.m. or in that range,
Yeah,
right?
if
So
you take
I,
a full dose, you are groggy. After.
bad.
I
And I'm
did
not
that
like
one
a-
time, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Nah,
bad.
that."
It's
Yeah.
bad. And I don't do it every night. I only do it on nights that I know I have to get up and I overthink things and won't sleep unless I knock myself out essentially. So that's how that came about. So yeah, my bad.
No, it's good. I like it. Not a bad pick. At my center. And we mentioned him earlier. This goes in the same theme. Luke is going to make fun of me on this because I've had this conversation with him multiple times. But my most essential thing, this is a small ball 5, right? Because I'm all about minimalism. And my small ball 5 is putting a check, or I guess I would say a carry on with all my stuff. I can put everything I'm traveling with in a carry on. I do not want to check a bag. I refuse to check a bag.
I don't
ever
think
check a bag.
I want to clarify what Jared said. I don't disagree with him on the not wanting to check a bag thing. I just disagree with his way of doing it because he'll walk around with the largest backpack of all time. the largest backpack of all time, and so I have to make fun of him. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
At one point in my life, I could fit everything I own in the Silver Surfer.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Pretty
Everything I own
cool. Honestly, a pretty
Like-
cool flex.
in my car, including my
Yeah.
flat screen TV. That was how it
Wow.
was.
back in that day, flat screens. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
Like,
wasn't really that flat.
Must
to be
say,
honest.
yeah. I can't imagine. Anyway.
Yeah, so fully packed carry on. Like I went to Italy for 2 weeks and only took a carry on.
see why I make fun of him,
That's
man. Like,
impressive.
he has
I mean,
one pair
where
of
were
drawers
you-
in there, bro. Like,
Yeah, were you doing
No, I
laundry
was
often?
bro,
Because
no,
like, come on,
I was dialed. Are you kidding me? I had fits. I don't
I'm
know
sure
who
he
you're
was
talking
good.
to.
The Lulu shirts can roll up really
I'd
tight.
love,
You know what
I'd
I
love
mean?
for you to
Like,
walk
I'm
me
telling-
through how you pack that much clothes for
I will show
2
you.
weeks worth of
I'm the
clothes.
master of minimalism.
I think
Yeah,
I
no,
would give him
I'm
that.
honestly,
I'm sure
I'm
he's
really excited
talented.
to learn. I'm really excited to learn this.
100th episode, how Jared packs a suitcase.
Yeah, we should
And by
do
suitcase,
that.
we mean carry-on handbag.
You mean backpack? Yeah.
I can't tell you. I have one more story. I'm sorry. This
Go,
is it.
okay, yeah.
Literally, I remember the first time I went to Vegas Summer League. I flew Spirit, and I put everything.
Flying Spirit. Like we should stop the story
Boys
now.
off
Yeah, yeah.
foot already.
in the carry on you have to take to fly Spirit.
Oh, it's
It's
bogus,
tiny, bro.
It's
Tiny.
like a pencil
crazy.
pouch. It's crazy.
You just held it in your lap or what?
No, it went in the top of the hang glider. I mean, I made it.
Hang
I'm
glider.
here still.
Hang glider.
Hang glider.
glider.
It's a good way to
Oh, my
describe
God.
Spirit
All right,
Airlines.
Tom,
man.
what you got, man? Let's
At my
get
5,
back on track.
this is the rim protector. This is, you're on. This is continuing with the road trip. I mean, if you do this on a plane, you're kind of weird, but it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The day's coming to an end, and that sun is blinding you. Throw on the sunglasses, man. Get them on. Need the sunglasses on a long road trip. If you wear sunglasses on a plane, that's kind of odd. I don't know.
You're a dork.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my 5. Good rim protector there at the 5. And then at the walk on, I gotta go with this. I think it's a good walk on because most people would rather listen to music or watch a TV show, as shown on this episode. But I like to throw on a podcast. I like to throw on a podcast while I'm traveling. I think there's certain podcasts I like to listen to. They really keep me not want to pull my hair out on the flight.
Podcast downloaded as a walk on. Wow, how poetic.
There we go.
Jared, are you gonna make a pick?
I know
here?
it's on me. I was waiting for you to come back to earth. So my walk, I'll explain later. My walk on, and again, this is an actual person, so I got to give them a shout because it's not necessarily someone that you think about when you travel, and it's not someone that you're banking on when you travel, but they can kind of make or break your travel, and that's a polite stewardess.
Mhm.
Or a someone that you can travel with that you get along with, right?
Nice.
Wait,
'Cause
that's
like-
wait, hold on. That's two different
like,
things. Isn't
I'm
a
saying-
stewardess
I'm
like a
sa-
flight attendant?
Yeah, I'm saying that
So-
but we're talking about whether it's a road trip. Obviously, you're not gonna have stewardess on your road trip, right? So it's like road
I
trip
think I'm
or
throwing
on a
flag.
flight.
I don't think you can put polite stewardess and road trip companion together.
Yeah,
Just-
that's like 2 different things.
yeah. Those
Okay,
are
then
different to me.
I can go with polite stewardess.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
I
fine.
think that's a great pick. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
either
Yeah,
of them are
no,
bad picks. I just think it's too like
I just knew we were talking broad.
you put like walk on,
Yeah.
just you put good person, and it's like okay, like good job. Like, you know,
Yeah.
No, like polite stewardess
Yeah.
because sometimes like
No,
how
it's
it
a
is.
good pick.
Sometimes
Yeah.
like flights can you're just like
flights are
"Dang, bro."
annoying in themselves. Like
Yeah, it's
they're
like,
they're
bro,
annoying already.
I didn't tell you to be a stewardess. Like, I didn't tell you to take this job. You don't
Yeah.
gotta be mad at me.
No, it's a good play.
Literally.
It's a really good play.
Yeah.
Okay. My walk on. I put this out a walk on because I only think maybe twice in my entire basketball career I've had to use this item. But if you don't have this item on your basketball road trips, you will be devastated and you will be asked out. So give me the extra pair of hoop shoes as my walk on because if you go on a road trip
He said
and you
asked
Zion Williamson a pair of your shoes, you're either gonna have to walk to the nearest Dick's Sporting Goods and get the Giannis retail like bogus
The
cheap
Greek
ones.
freak.
Yeah, the non name
The-
brand ones. The budget models. That's
What
I was
was the
looking for.
KD ones? KD had the
Like Trey 5, Money
the Trey
5, or some
fives.
BS.
Even Kobe had the Venomins or Venomins, however you
The
say it.
phenomenons.
Yeah.
Oh
Phenomenon.
my god.
Like exactly, this is my point. So if you don't bring an extra pair of your own hoop shoes that you've broken in that you're comfortable wearing in games, you are going to be wearing the Giannis Immortality 4s in your
Have
next
you
game, and
Zion?
nobody
Have
wants
you-
to do that.
Have you Zion to shoe before, Luke?
I mean, you know how like we've talked on the pod, I like to beat my shoes to the ground. So sometimes like I'll like the grip
He
might
thinks they got
slip
one more
up or,
road
like,
trip in them, and
and they
Yeah.
don't.
They
And they
don't,
don't.
yeah,
And they don't.
that's-
Like they're already talking to me a
I
little
should
bit,
retire
and it's like
it.
I just had a good game, and I don't want to retire him yet. So
Yeah.
like,
So the
or
pocket-
shoelace breaks. Like I
the
would rather
shoelace
just-
break is the worst
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like the shoe, and you'll never find the shoelaces. Like retail
Exactly.
shoelaces won't like.
And I'm not
work.
trying to like
Yeah.
randomize color it and all this.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
rather just put on another pair that I'm already comfortable and broken in with. So
Yeah,
give
yeah.
me the extra pair of hoop shoes as a walk on. I think it's an incredible thing.
That's a
that
good play. I mean, I always travel with 2 pairs, so
You have to.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
travel with one, it's just dumb to me. Unless you're like
It's
on a shoe
dangerous.
contract and within one phone call, a pair of shoes is going to show up at your door. But that's a very small group of people in this world. So
Yeah, I must be dumb. I don't know.
you don't play hard enough. All right, Jay, what's up?
You're a
Uh,
dickhead.
My walk on, I'm gonna just go simple. This is almost more of a daily one for me than a travel one, but I gotta have chapstick. Got to.
Mm.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
actually so
Mandatory.
good.
it's a good pick.
You show up some places, be real dry, can't have the
Sure.
chap lid. It's a
You have a
bad
specific brand you rely on?
I
or-
do. I'm a Burt's Bees.
That's
Oh
Burt's Bees
man,
is
that's
my
tragic. That's
go-to.
tragic.
It's classic though. It's
That's
classic.
Jared,
though.
I think Jared is
Reliable. Yeah,
so
what are we
particular.
using
Of
for
course,
first?
he hates Burt's Bees. Why wouldn't
Jared's
Burt's
probably
Bees.
Jared's probably
I have a
you're
special one. You're
Aquaphor.
not gonna
You're an
know. No,
Aquaphor
you're not.
guy.
None
No,
of you
he
are gonna
likes-
know. 'Cause
one
I
of
have
his-
some bougie stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
He gets
He's
his
the
from
one-
Whole Foods in the third
Yeah, I
aisle.
have
that,
some
like
bougie
only
stuff.
like it's BS.
Yeah.
Wait,
The only
what's
thing
the
I,
name
what
of
I'll
it?
say, it's Jack Black's. Jay, they
Jesus.
Jack Black.
So random.
no, that's the name of the brand. It's not actually Jack Black. The actor.
Oh,
Kung Fu Panda's chapstick.
yeah, the School of Rock edition.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, I thought you had something to say. I thought you
yeah,
had
I'm
something
just,
to say.
yeah, I was gonna say that the Burt's Bees actually makes my lips feel more chapped. That's all I was
Let's
gonna say.
rock. Let's rock today.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
crazy, Jared. I don't think that's true. I feel like Burt's Bees is probably the most popular brand.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
I'm an Aquaphor guy.
I'm a Vaseline guy.
That's weird.
Ooh.
That's
not
Amanda.
weird. A
Told you.
lot of people do that, bro. A lot of people.
Yeah,
do
Amanda
that.
does
A lot
that
of people
too.
do that. A lot of people do that.
Let's go, Amanda. She gets it.
Wow. What a starting 5 segment.
That was good. It was a lot better than.
I couldn't I thought it would be good, but that
worked
was
out
out of
well.
left field. That was out of left field.
It worked out well. Worked out well. Waters.
Well, my bags are packed. My clubs are checked. I already got my 50 chips tonight. So when those wheels go up, private is my only type of flight.
You're checking on private.
Call
Yes, you
out
still have
crazy.
to.
I thought you don't
Crazy.
check bags.
Let him rock. Let him rock. Let him rock.
The
My
clubs,
bad.
I can't take them.
I mean, he
I'm-
said he
I-
doesn't check bags. And now he's
Imagine
checking
you
a bag
open
on a
up the
private
top
jet.
thing
I
and
don't
it's
know.
like
Yeah,
someone's
I
but,
don't
golf-
know.
that's how Tom, you sound stupid. You cannot literally, you have to check golf clubs.
Imagine you open up the overhead.
Yeah,
doors,
I
it's
mean,
like,
do I
what?
sound stupid or do I sound broke? I don't know. I don't fly private. I'm sorry.
That had
Jared.
nothing to do with flying private. Doesn't you literally you have to check golf clubs. They do not fit in the top of an airplane.
No, Tommy's gonna
But
fit it
if
in
you're
the seat
flying on
in
a
front of him.
private jet,
They still put them in the bottom.
I feel like you can just set the clubs next to you. It's a private jet.
Ugh.
No, they still set them in the bottom of the plane.
Ugh, this
No,
is
I mean, you're
crazy.
not
We're having
wrong,
a
but,
private
like-
jet argument, fellas. Can we figure this out?
Have you ever
End the
flown on a
episode?
private jet?
Have you?
by the way,
No, I
Jared?
have not.
Okay.
But I know
Looks
for
like
a
neither
fact
of us
we
know.
literally
Looks
cannot.
like neither of us
arguing
know.
about something you
Because-
don't know. Like,
Yeah, I'm
end the
a-
episode.
Every private jet that I've seen on
Oh
a
my
TV
God,
show,
bro.
I see.
They
ample
have their
space.
club sitting next to them.
No, but I
James
see ample
Bond,
space
bruh.
to place a club
This
potentially.
isn't
I don't know.
007.
Anyway,
Let's go.
Jay,
this is
sorry that.
this is just petty to be petty. This is literally what that is.
Yeah, and it might be, but
Yeah,
Well,
it totally is.
Jay, brother,
we-
we appreciate you. We appreciate you jumping back onto this. The
No, of
return
course.
guests, we've had a few of them, but they are special. So we appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Good luck to Jay's endeavors. Everybody keep following Jay. He's got a
Yeah,
great career ahead of him. So tap in.
appreciate it.
As
Appreciate it.
always, these are your favorite walk-ons, and we're walking out.